What's up, P-Hope gang? This is your girl P-Hope, and this is season 3, episode 4 of Love After Lockup. Let me make sure I got that right, y'all. These my notes. Yeah, that is episode 4. That's so bad. So we're just gonna kick this off. I'm sorry if this video ends up being like low energy because it's late in the evening. I'm trying to get ready to get my kids. They start back school this week, y'all. Lord have mercy, pray for me. But yeah, so I'm sorry if this video ends up being low energy, but I promise y'all I still got all the deets. I got all the deets, but I'm gonna try to keep the energy up. So the episode starts out with Chevelle and Mama Quavo still waiting outside of the prison for Quaylin. So the episode starts out with Chevelle and Mama Quavo waiting on Quaylin to be released from the jail. And so they're just standing there and they're kind of chopping it up, and then they like, is that him? Is that him? You know, a couple people come out and it wasn't him, and then finally he brings his ass out. Both of the ladies are just so excited and they just light up, and it was such a really cute moment. When he gets on the other side of the fence, Mama Quavo ran and just held her baby, and she was just so tickled that she just could not stop laughing, and that laugh ended up turning into a cry, and it was such a cute moment. Like, I loved it because as she was holding her baby, you could just feel the love, and she, like, how overwhelmed she was to finally be face to face with her baby and touching her baby, and like, it was just a beautiful moment. And you know, so she's sitting there holding on to him, and then she eased up for just a second, and Chevelle came in and you know, gave her hug or whatever, and he was like, girl, you better kiss me. So you know, they kissed, and she was like, oh my god, I cannot believe I'm actually touching you and holding your hand. So that was just a really nice moment. And then they get in the car and they're riding, and he's, you know, he's letting us know that he's just so excited to be home, and you know, he's just excited to be a free man pretty much. And y'all, Quaylin is really a handsome young man. He really is. And I keep calling him a young man because I keep picturing him, even though I don't know this man, I keep picturing him as being the 17-year-old that he was when he was locked up, when he first got arrested. So that's how I view him. Even though he's 29 years old, I still view him as a young man. I guess it's because I side so much with Mama Quavo that I don't look at Quaylin as a man yet. So even though he's very handsome, I don't view him as a man. So you know, he's gonna have to, like I keep saying in every video, he's gonna have to get out, and he's gonna have to normalize himself to society first. And so maybe, you know, once he does that, then I could look at him like, you know, okay, Chevelle, I see you, you know what I'm saying, you got you a little sign, you got a little grown man. But until then, that's a little boy. But Quaylin is very handsome, and let me tell you something, whoever is doing his hair or was doing his hair off up in the jail, like, I don't know what you got locked up for, but you missed your calling, you missed your gift, because that lineup, everything, them dreads, everything. Like, Quaylin is out here killing some of these celebrities with that hair. You feel what I'm talking about? So yeah, I'm doing kind of like a play-by-play. So then it goes over to John and Christiana. We pick up where we left off last week. They have 8 minutes to get the ceremony done. And I could have just swore up and down, y'all. I could have sworn on my life that Christiana was going to say no. But Christiana actually went through with it. She said yes to the dress, but that dress didn't fit. But she is going through with the ceremony. She says that she likes to fly at the seat of her pants, so fuck it, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? She's ready to be a married woman. Why not? John says even though he's already been married 4 times, he has never had a native wedding. So they get up there on the bed of the truck where the ceremony is supposed to go down, and then you got this other man up there. He's doing his whole native thing. He's like, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, he ain't do all that. But, you know, he was singing his little native song. And then they said whatever they had to say, because the lady had already said she was going to ask her a series of questions, and you either say yay or nay. And yeah, that's how the process goes of a native wedding. So I guess she answered all of the questions that she needed to answer, and she left a married woman. Now y'all remember the initial plan was, after the ceremony, they were supposed to get in the back of John's truck and consummate the marriage. So you know what I'm saying, he was supposed to get a little bit of that WAP. It's some hoes in this, it's some hoes in this, hey, it's some hoes in. All right, so you know what I'm saying, he was supposed to pop in that Cardi B and that Meg Thee Stallion, but y'all, the ceremony done took so long that by the time they did the ceremony and packed up the truck, Christiana's ass was already 30 minutes behind schedule to be at the halfway house on time. Okay, first of all, you done ambushed me asking me to marry you. Then you ambushed me to get married. I didn't know we was getting married like right here, right now. And you got me running 30 minutes behind schedule. So, like, John, this marriage ain't starting out well. You out here fucking up. Like, for real, for real. So, yeah, that's that. And then it pans over, y'all, to Scott. Scott's ass is sitting at the airport waiting on Lindsay to get off the damn plane. And so it shows him just looking out the window like, is that her? Is that her? Like, I don't, you know, he don't know where she at. So then you see fewer and fewer people unloading off the plane. And then at the very end, you see this lady standing there in the door of the plane. And he's looking, and then the motherfucking lights went out. It wasn't Lindsay. It was one of the employees that work on the plane. She's the bitch that cuts the lights off on the plane when everybody is already off, okay? That's who that was. And so, you know, they left John standing there in the dark looking stupid. And it goes over to Tyrese. Now we're talking about Tyrese and Shonda. Tyrese has decided to go over his friend's house, and his kids are there as well. So as they're there, the friend asked Tyrese's son, like, what do you think about your dad's new girlfriend? And so the son is like, you know, I think that, you know, my dad has picked a nice young, you know, black woman. And the friend is like, she's a white girl. And so the son felt some type of way about that. He's like, a white girl? So then, of course, Tyrese instantly jumps in his feelings, and he's like, yeah, she's white. Like, what does it matter? And then he pulls up her picture on his cell phone, and he's like, you know, she's 28, I'm 49, and it is what it is. And so then then Tyrese's daughter objects, and she's like, no, like, it ain't, it is what it is. Like, what if we don't care for this girl? Like, then what? And he's like, well, I'm not worried about that because, you know, it's nothing wrong with her. So she's like, well, I think that Shonda is just a 28-year-old looking for a sugar daddy. And then the son is like, yeah, that's right. She's just looking for a sugar daddy. And then so when they go to the little outside scene, the daughter says that, you know, she hopes that Shonda is in it for the right reasons, but she really doesn't trust it. Tyrese let us know that he has been married before, and he got a divorce when he was 30 years old. And after his divorce, he just assumed that he would be a single man, just kind of living that bachelor, you know, gigolo life forever. You know, he didn't plan on being married again. But now 19 years later, he is ready to settle down, and he wants a wife. So, and he feels like Shonda is that one. Okay. It goes to Sean and Destiny. Sean and Destiny are still in the car ride, and they are actually on their way to have lunch with Destiny's mom and sister. And so Sean is saying that, you know, he is really nervous because this will be his first time meeting the family. And so, you know, Destiny is like, well, you know, it's fine because I'm going to be just as nervous when it's time for me to meet your family as well. But Sean is, you know, thinking in the back of his head like, man, yeah, I'm sure you are, but it's still some things that I haven't told you. So he's definitely still keeping secrets that Destiny has no clue about, and he says that he feels really bad about it. So they get to the restaurant. Of course, he meets the mom. You know, they all greet each other, the mom and the sister, and then they get seated at the table. Destiny's mom is not really feeling secure about Sean and Destiny because of the way that they met through a prison site. So Destiny's mom is just trying to kind of figure out what the hell does Sean want with Destiny's young ass besides some young ass. You feel what I'm saying? So Destiny says that she wants to get out of those janky ass clothes, and she has clothes in her bag, so she wants to go in the restaurant bathroom and change her clothes, and she wants her sister to come with her. So the two sisters go off in the bathroom, which leaves Sean and Destiny's mom at the table alone. And baby, when I tell y'all she was ready to go in for the kill, she must have knew that that moment was coming, because she ain't waste no time asking questions. But before we get to those questions, it goes back to Scott at the airport. Scott is still standing there waiting on Lindsay to get off the plane, and she never got off. Okay, like I said, the airplane lights had cut off, and at that point he knew that she wasn't on that particular flight. So he starts making phone calls, and he's trying to figure out what could have happened. All the numbers that he's using, nobody is giving him any answers, which leaves him very confused and very aggravated. So, and then, you know, production keeps asking him the obvious dumb questions like, you know, well, what do you think has happened? And do you think she's, you know, playing you or stuff like that? And he's like, no. You know, in Scott's heart of hearts, he just feels like something has happened on, you know, the prison system's end, and that is why she was not able to board her plane on time. Then we get over to Jessica and Maurice. They're still back at the hotel room, but they're getting dressed because they are on their way to Maurice's parole office. And he's going to meet his parole officer to see if he can get transferred over to Las Vegas, which is where Jessica lives. So Maurice says that he does not want to be in Compton anymore. He says that there's nothing there positive for him except for his 9-year-old daughter. He lets us know that he does have a daughter, and that he really regrets having to see her grow up through photos. You know, it's not good. It doesn't make him feel good at all. But he is hoping that whatever parole officer that he gets, that, you know, they're just cool and very understanding of his situation, that he is now a changed man, he is now a married man, and he just wants to go to Las Vegas to start a new life with his wife. But he says he does know that he could get an asshole that just doesn't give a shit about him trying to better himself. So he doesn't really know which way it's going to go until he gets there. So they get there, he goes in the building, and then it says 30 minutes later he comes out, and we find out that he cannot go to Vegas. He will not be going to Vegas with Jessica at this time. They told him that the process will take about 60 days for Compton to get everything transferred over to Las Vegas. So for the next 60 days he's going to have to sit tight in Compton you know, and chill. Pretty much just do whatever you're gonna do, which frustrates both of them to high hell, because 60 days is definitely enough time for a young man like Maurice to get in trouble again. You know what I'm saying? 60 days is enough time for, if he's been out here beefing with somebody or had beef before he got locked up, 60 days is enough time for him to get in a fight. 60 days is enough time for him to get shot or shoot at somebody. You know, 60 days is a lot of time to stir up a lot of trouble. So I definitely understood. Oh, sorry, y'all. So I definitely understood both of their frustration about, you know, why can't I just be transferred? You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. And so, y'all, just stay out of jail. Stay in school, children. Do the right thing, all right? It's not worth it. What they got next? They show a small clip of Tyrese, walking into the store. This was like a little commercial piece. They show Tyrese walking into the store. A lady asked him, you know, like, how can I help you, sir? And he says, yeah, I'm looking for, you know, some lingerie for my lady or whatever. And so she's like, oh, okay. Well, you know, she's trying to, you know, what are you trying to do? So he's like, well, you know, I'm trying to pick out something, because her thing that she wanted when she got out was she was tired of those prison panties. She wanted to be out of the prison panties. So Tyrese is shopping to find her some really cute panties, but he doesn't want anything too extreme and anything too kinky right now, because, you know, he don't want to scare her off or, you know, make her think that it's anything other than genuine love. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to pull out the 50 Shades of Grey panties on her just yet. He just wants something nice, and that's not a granny panty, but he's sure that anything he picks out is going to look nice, because he cannot stop telling us about how beautiful Shonda's ass is, okay? He loves it. He says she has a really nice ass. And he says that he knows and that he can put it on his kids that the sex is going to be amazing. So, you know, I don't know. And he said he knows that for a fact. So I don't know what kind of video chatting. I don't know what kind of, you know, ride by the prison and look in the 5th window on the 3rd floor, and I'm gonna show your ass something at 8:17 p.m. Just be looking. I don't know what they got going on that he knows that the sex is gonna be amazing, but he says that, you know, Shonda got that good. And I don't know. He didn't say how he knows that, but he knows that. Then it goes back to Scott at this damn airport. He ends up calling Brenda, which y'all know that's Lindsay's grandma, and he ends up telling her and Lindsay's daughter that, listen, she didn't show up. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm here at the airport. I was here on time, and Lindsay's ass just didn't show up. And so as so much time goes by, the limo driver eventually brings his ass back around, and he's like, you know, hey man, what's up? What's going on? And so he has to explain the whole situation to the limo driver, and the limo driver is really feeling bad for Scott at this point, and he wants to console him and tell him that, you know, everything is gonna be okay. But the shady ass limo driver, y'all, he then turns around to the cameraman and says, you know, 9 times out of 10 this shit just wasn't real. It just wasn't real. And so, you know, he's like, hey man, it's gonna be okay, but you know, it might not have been real. She might have just been playing you, bruh. And so Scott goes back to the limo, and because don't y'all ever forget that he went all out for this shit. So he had expensive steaks, he had the most expensive bottle of wine that the restaurant could offer, he had cake, and he had them rented that damn limo. So he pulls all of that shit out the limo, and him and the limo driver just sit there and eat. I mean, what else you gonna do? So yeah, they had that going on. And then it takes us back to John and Christiana. They're flying down the road like a damn bat out of hell, okay? John says that he is exceeding, he says he is exceeding all the speed limits to get Christiana to this damn halfway house on time. He says he has never pushed his truck to these kind of limits. So I could imagine if they had panned to the outside of that car, that truck was probably shaking like a damn stripper, because he said he has never pushed it to these kind of limits before. But anyway, on this speedway down the road, Christiana decides to call her mom to let her know that she's been released and that she's on her way to the halfway house. And y'all, the mom sounded extremely dry. The mom was not excited to hear from Christiana, and she didn't have any encouraging words or anything like that. The mama sound like the sister on Marge Simpson's sister. So if y'all remember them smoking ass sisters on The Simpsons, that's exactly what Christiana mama sound like. I said, let me find out we got a celebrity on the line. Let me find out. But anyway, for her to be running late, Christiana is really, really calm on this ride. And she still has 20 minutes before she is supposed to be at the halfway house. But the GPS is telling them that they're still 1 whole hour away. So, you know, good luck with getting there on time, Christiana. Christiana apologizes to John for not being able to give him none of that WAP. You know what I'm saying? But she says she is sorry that she did not get to give, you know, do any hanky-panky. But she does want to change her clothes before she gets to the halfway house. So she throws a shirt over the camera that they had in the truck, and she takes all her clothes off, honey. She gave John a little peep show, and she asked him, like, you know what I'm saying, do you like these perky titties? You know what I'm saying? Do you like everything that you see? And John is very excited about what he see, and Christiana said that he definitely had a rocket on him, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's Christiana for the win, goddamn. So they finally get to the damn halfway house, and Christiana, of course, she's not excited. First of all, because she's already late, and second of all, because she says she's already been to this particular halfway house 4 times. Okay, 4 times. And she says that this particular halfway house is nothing but a trap. And she says that it's a trap because of the fact that there are other drug addicts at that halfway house, and there are drug dealers at that halfway house. So her issue is that she has too much access to too much negative stuff there, which makes sense. And it's kind of like the same thing that Maurice was trying to say. It's like, if I'm trying to get away from that negative life that I was living, but you're not really giving me the opportunity to do so. And it's the same thing with Christiana. So if you keep sending me to the same place that I've been 4 times, and I know what I can get into, 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna get into it. So you know, I'm rooting for you, Christiana. I hope that, you know, you keep your head on straight, and that you don't become tempted by those negative things that are around you. But I get it, and I understand that it's hard. Addiction is hard, and when you have things, you know, just so easily accessible to you, it doesn't make it any better. So but I'm rooting for you, girl. What's the last thing we got? We got Sean's ass last, y'all. That's who the episode ended with. Because, like I said, you got Sean and Destiny's mama at that table together, and she had her questions ready for his ass. So she wanted to know, like, what are your intentions for my daughter? And, you know, he says he has all these good intentions for her, and, you know, even though they met through a website, you know, he's really in love with her, and he's in it for the long haul. And she's like, okay, well, you know, how many kids do you have? or do you want kids? I think that's the question that she asked. And he said, well, you know, yeah, I have kids. I have 6 kids. And she was like, well, she told me you had 2 kids. And he said, well, yeah, I did tell her that I only had 2 kids, but that was in the beginning, and I didn't know that our relationship would go this far. So that's why I didn't tell her about the other 4. Now, then it pans to a situation where Destiny and her sister are still in the restroom, and she's still changing her clothes out or whatever. And excuse me, y'all. And Destiny says that she is definitely ready to move to Vegas with Sean, but she admits to her sister that she doesn't know if she's ready to settle down with just one person. So the sister is telling her that, like, well, honey, you got some decisions that you need to be making. And she's like, yeah, I know. So they come out the bathroom, and Sean had made mention to everybody that Destiny was being abusive on their car ride over to the restaurant. And Destiny's mama made a joke, and she said, you better be careful with that hitting on him, because that can be considered senior abuse. And she thought that was the funniest shit ever, y'all. It tickled her. Nobody else at the table was tickled, and Destiny was slightly confused, because Destiny was like, why would that be considered senior abuse if he's only 37? And at that point, me and Destiny mama had started looking at Destiny real sideways. Excuse me, because you know good and damn well that looking at Sean's ass, he is not no 37. Y'all, I'm older than 37, and I don't look shit like Sean. So, like, we was all looking crazy at that point. And then she was like, well, you know, you're only 37, so why would she be calling you a senior? And then Sean says, well, no, I'm not 37. I am, what was he, y'all, 40 something? I think he was like 45. So if Tyrese was 49, I think Sean ass is 45. And she said, you never told me that. And he said, yes, I did. And she said, no, you didn't. And he said, yes, I did. And so, you know, at this point, she was ready to slap his ass again, because she know that he said 37. And I believe her, because if y'all remember last week, she said, well, you know, he's a nice looking guy, but he looks older than I imagine him to look. And so that will make sense why she said that, because if he said 37, he doesn't look his age. So yeah, they had that going on. And he also had to admit to Destiny about the 6 kids. So at this point, she has already, just at a matter of a quick little lunch, she has already found out that Sean's ass is a liar. He's done lied about his age, and he done lied about how many kids he have. So and it showed in the clip for next week. Hopefully that's next week. They're jumping out the car, and she slapped the shit out his ass. So she probably done found out another lie on top of that. But yeah, that's how we ended the story, y'all. That's how we ended this episode. So yeah, y'all, that was season 3, episode 4 of Love After Lockup. I am sorry if this video was low energy, but I am tired, and I have already done 2 other videos today. Y'all know I am a YouTube rookie, so just bear with me and you know, support me as much as you possibly can. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I want everyone to be happy, be healthy, be safe. This your girl P Hope, and I will catch you in the next video. Yeah.